It is currently the evening of May 9th, and it is still torrentially downpouring. I will not complain about that because we had this identical instance last year, and then we had historically wet months of April and May and into June. Then it dried up and it didn't rain for months. So in the Northeast, that's pretty rare. And my sheep were out at the solar site, so they were consuming a lot of water. Luckily, we have a swamp in our backyard, so there's not typically a shortage of water here. I better watch what I say, though, because before I know it, data centers or something are going to be popping up around here. Because in the great state of New York, we really care about the environment until we start getting incentives for things like solar fields or wind farms or data centers and microchip plants. Then everything that we've been taught about the DEC goes right out the window. The sheep overall are doing a lot better. I did have someone that asked how the livestock were doing, and I have not really posted updates about them recently. The sheep in this barn that are still in here are the ones that haven't lambed or I wanted to keep a closer eye on. So the rest of the flock is out in our first large grazing pasture. The cows have been very angry with me and my husband because we've not let them out because we still had baleage to feed out. So they were being forced to eat the baleage while they were watching the sheep grazing from afar. And then they proceeded to stand at the gate and moo at us, a wonderful chorus of moos every time I went out to check on the sheep over the last 3 weeks. But it's fine. The cows will be going out in the next few days. My husband and I just discussed that. And there are a few in here that will be going into the group with the solar site that will probably be departing tomorrow sometime. And my one singular wool sheep still needs to be shorn. So that's on the to-do list for tomorrow. Most of my sheep are hair sheep. So if you don't know, here, I'll show you. Hair sheep, most of them are hair sheep. My one lone wool sheep, the other wool sheep that I had, now these are East Friesians. The other wool sheep that I had did pass away 2 weeks ago to the day. And I was heartbroken. I love the East Friesians. I'm very sad about that. So I don't know if I'll get another one. I do have a ewe lamb out of the one that passed away that I will probably retain. But the reason I have East Friesians to serve as nurse mamas to the lambs that may not be getting enough from their mom. So the added production is really nice, especially when we have triplets, which we actually only had one set of triplets this year, and it was the group that Franklin was out of. And because that mom had mastitis 4 years ago and lost production out of one half of her udder, I pulled Franklin anyway, and she's had luck raising the other two. But aside from that, every mom I have is raising a single or a twin this year, which given the circumstances we had is probably the best case scenario. And I really hope that some of these ewe lambs are not bred. But as it went last year, we had some stragglers into June. So once my flock is big enough that I can start being selective over that trait, that's the first one I'm going to be selective about, because I hate this dragging out lambing for months on end kind of a thing. I like being able to sleep until 5:30 on a school morning before I have to go and teach a bunch of kids and not waking up at 5 a.m. or 4:30. But anyway, I'm going to go make the children dessert now. So here's your sheep update.